Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you all. I hope everybody's doing well. It's good to be with you on this Tuesday in March. I'm going to today play some songs that honor women. I wish I could have done this yesterday on International Women's Day, but March is it Women's History Month? Yeah, I think. Or anyway, just very aware of the struggle that I can't even believe in 2021 we still are struggling with things like equal pay for equal work and eliminating sexism and all the other isms. I mean, hard to believe we're struggling with racism still, and homophobia and transphobia, just all the struggles. But tonight I want to play some songs honoring women and lifting up the amazing gifts that we've been given by the women in our faith and in our lives. Two of the songs I'm going to play are songs I've written. I'm going to sing one of them and then play the other one. So let me just tell you about the ones I'm going to play. I'm going to play a song called "We Were There" that wrote for a show many years ago that Carol and I wrote called "Extraordinary," and that was about the extraordinary people who were called to be disciples. And in the Bible it tells us the names of the men as disciples, and then tells us stories of the women who clearly were also disciples, but they weren't called that because of the patriarchal, male-dominated society then and now. So this song's called "We Were There," and the words go like this: We were there when he was born. We were there on Easter morn. We were there. We were there. We are there. We were there to wash his feet. We were there to hear him speak. We were there. We were there. We are there. And no one else could love him more. And no one else made our spirits soar. And no one else loved us as we are. And no one else is our shining star. We were there to watch him die. We were there to see him rise. We were there. We were there. We are there. We were there to seek the way. We were there to heal and pray. We were there. We were there. We are there. And no one else could love him more. No one else made our spirits soar. No one else loved us as we are. And no one else is our shining star. We were there to carry on. We were there to sing the song. We were there. We were there. We are there. We were there to spread the word. We were there and we were heard. We were there. We were there. We are there. We were there. We were there. We are there. So that'll be the second song I play. I won't sing the words, but you can remember that it's about the women who were part of the Jesus story from the very beginning. The next one I'm going to play after that one is called "Canticle of the Turning," and it's a modern day kind of resetting of the Magnificat, the Song of Mary, that we've kind of relegated Mary to this place of docile and gentle and meek and mild, and Mary was anything but that. And the Magnificat is a revolutionary song of resistance and of justice and of lifting up the poor and really foreshadowing the ministry of Jesus. And so I won't read you the words to that one, but it's a really fun tune with kind of an Irish flavor to it. I'm going to start with this song I wrote 4 years ago in honor of a really good friend and a beloved beloved pastor of our church, Debbie Weatherspoon. Some of you may remember 4 years ago, we all got the news, unwelcome and unexpected news that she was being moved from our church. And so I wrote this song kind of as, based on something that happened with Elizabeth Warren, the senator. She was, as usual, fighting for what she believed was right, and fighting for people getting what they deserve. And I don't actually remember the exact Senate fight, but she kept going. And Mitch McConnell made a statement about her, and he said, "Nevertheless, she persisted," and that actually became kind of a rallying cry. And so this song is about "Nevertheless, she persisted." I write first about some of the women in the Bible story, and then a little bit about Debbie's story, and just honoring women who persist, who have to persist. And Debbie's journey has taken her through a lot of persisting and resisting and thriving through a lot of challenges. So songs in honor of her and lifting up the struggle of women to be heard and to persist and to thrive. Anyway, then at the very end, because those are 3 songs written by men, and it seems like honoring women, you don't need a lot of mansplaining songs. So the last song I'm going to play is called "We Are a Gentle, Angry People" by a wonderful folk singer, activist, songwriter named Holly Near. So, enough talking from me. Nevertheless, we were there. Canticle of the Turning, and we are a gentle, angry people, singing for our lives. When the angel came to Mary, said, "You're going to bear God's son," she felt so alone and frightened, she almost came undone. Nevertheless, when the woman came to Jesus, brought her child for him to heal, he said he didn't come to help her kind, he rejected her appeal. Nevertheless, she persisted. Nevertheless, she resisted. All of the voices saying, "Just give up, accept the status quo." Nevertheless, she existed. Nevertheless, she insisted. Everyone's voices matter, yours and mine. Believe and you will know. Nevertheless, you were 17 and hurting, thought it's time to end it all. You had no idea that life would win, and soon you'd hear God's call. Nevertheless, and now who you are and what you do is devoted to what's right, and yet still the powers of darkness happy International Women's Day, a day late. And we keep singing for our lives, and we keep singing for justice and for equity, for a world where everyone's voice matters and is heard. And until that world comes into existence, we persist. Glad you could be with me today. I'll be back here Thursday, 5 o'clock. Till then, take care and be safe.